Hello, welcome to LiveCalled Today. My name is Jim Singleton from Leighton Ministries, and I want to invite you to think about the calling of a man in the Old Testament named Joshua. Joshua was called to replace Moses. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to replace a legend, to replace somebody that had been the leader of the people of God all the way from Egypt to the edge of the promised land? But the first paragraph of the book of Joshua reminds us that now Moses has died. And so Joshua is called to replace him. And God says, as I've been with Moses, I'll be with you. But when you think about the dimension of feeling called into something that somebody else has done for a long time, it's daunting. I had the opportunity to replace a pastor who had been in a church for 34 years. Most people there knew no other pastor than him. He was actually a legend and quite impressive as a leader. What Joshua hears as he's called, and it's repeated 3 times in the first 9 verses of Joshua, is be strong and courageous. Strong and courageous. Strong and courageous. And the last time it's repeated, it's because as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. When you're called into something overwhelming, we've got to remember we're not called alone. We're called by God, and God is going to be with us. That with us phrase is one of the most important phrases in all of Scripture because it reminds us we're not alone. The Great Commission, a daunting task to go to all nations, ends with, and remember, I'll be with you unto the end of the age. Probably the most important thing for us to remember in our various calling stories is that God is planning to be with us. And when we get in the greatest trouble is when we begin to think, oh, it's all on us. And we're going to have to invent this, and we're going to have to create this, and we're going to have to produce this. That's not the story. The story is that I will be with you. And so God invites us to be strong and courageous, to face forward the calling that we have, knowing that he's going to be there with us. We're not really being strong in our own strength or courageous in our own courage. We're depending on yet another. And so as you ponder the various callings in your life, are you remembering that you're not alone? Are you remembering that though it's daunting to step into a calling, that God is so full of a plan for what's going to happen that our job is truly to stay connected, to listen, to be attentive, and to step right into that grand plan that God has unfolding before us. Now, Joshua's going to have another big moment. We're going to talk about that next week, where he's about to face the crossing of that river, but at this point, he's just now given the new mantle. And many of you have had that experience in your life of being given a new calling, a new mantle, a new responsibility. And again, the key to this text that I'll repeat again is that as I was with Moses, so I'll be with you. You're not going into that calling alone. We are grateful at Leighton Ministries that we get to be there in times when so many individuals and institutions are facing callings. And what are we going to do with this calling? And our encouragement to you today from Leighton Ministries is be strong and courageous. You're not alone. God will walk on this way with you. Bless you this week.